Hello everyone, this is Nyessa, and welcome to Let's Talk Verse 3 Plans. So I'm taking a break to record this in the middle of frantically trying to hand-stitch my Halloween costume because I found out a little bit too late that my sewing machine wasn't working, so excuse me if this is a little bit muddled. I actually intended to get this out before now, but unfortunately the timing with Halloween makes things a little bit shaky. I should know by now that trying to do anything other than getting my costume together in the week or two before Halloween is pretty much a lost cause, but I still haven't quite learned my lesson. There was actually a lot that I intended to get done this weekend regarding the channel and the Skyrim series and a couple of other things that are not the Skyrim series, but the only stuff I was able to get done was some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that you're not really going to see yet. However, I do have a plan, and I have been steadily working towards getting verse 3 going, so hopefully you will see the results of that before too much longer. So, I've been thinking a lot about your responses to the last Let's Talk video, and I've been doing some research about Skyrim Special Edition, and I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to go ahead with verse 3 using the original version of Skyrim instead of trying to switch to the Special Edition first. It has become pretty clear at this point that it would take far too long to get all of the mods configured and ready so that I could actually play at a save in Skyrim Special Edition within a reasonable amount of time, especially considering just how many mods I'm actually using in this playthrough. I'm already itching to get back into the story, and there's really no guarantee that I can even get at a save to work at all in Skyrim Special Edition. So, because of that, I'm going to go ahead with regular Skyrim, and I've been working towards that for the last few weeks, trying to get mods ready and updated, adding a couple of new ones, so not all that many, and trying to get my recording situation figured out. And I've run into several delays during this process, which is pretty predictable. There's always going to be some kind of delay that I didn't foresee. In this case, there have been a few mod problems where I had trouble with updating some mods. There was one mod that I tried to update to a newer version, but it completely messed up the mod and the save, so I had to revert back to the old version. And I also had some weird troubles with Nexus Mod Manager that I haven't quite figured out, but at least I've gotten a workaround at this point. And the other big delay is that I have had to completely change my recording setup. It was pointed out to me recently that I was getting some pretty bad lag in the videos that I didn't actually notice on my own, for a couple of reasons. One reason is that the lag was not actually happening in the gameplay. It was only in the recorded video. And while I am sensitive to lag that occurs while I'm playing, I'm not as sensitive when I'm watching a video. To add to that, my editing software is a little bit laggy when it's playing back anyway, so any lag that was actually in the video itself, I just interpreted as the editing software being a little bit laggy in the playback. In the past, when I've seen lag occur in the playback on the editing software, that lag didn't usually transfer over to the video itself once it was rendered, so I made an assumption, and it was an incorrect assumption that led to there being a lot of lag in the uploaded videos. That was my mistake, but thank you to commenter It's Alex for pointing it out to me and making me aware of the situation so that I could track down the problem and solve it. Now, in this case, it turns out that the problem was my recording software. Now, I'm still not sure exactly why this is happening, but even when I'm getting 60 frames per second in the actual gameplay itself, DxStory has been recording with very low frame rates. And it doesn't matter what I do with the settings, nothing I have tried has actually worked while still using DxStory. And at this point I've come to the conclusion that my only solution is to switch to a different method of recording. So I've been playing around with that, experimenting, trying a few different things, and I've come to the conclusion that my best option is to use NVIDIA Shadowplay along with Audacity to record the audio. I'm still not totally comfortable with the change in routine, and I think it'll take me a while to really get used to the new process, especially since I know that the editing process is going to be a little bit more complicated now, but under the circumstances, this is really a change that I had to make. Now, I was hoping to have the beginning of verse 3 recorded by now, but with the combination of mod issues and getting my Halloween costume together, I haven't been able to actually get to it this weekend. However, it is going to happen soon. So just hope that I remember to turn Audacity on ahead of time and have the audio recording. And very shortly, there should be a new episode of A Bard Song, the first episode of verse 3, with Edda's continuing adventures in Solstheim. In the meantime, as we go through verse 3, I will continue playing around on the side with Skyrim Special Edition to see if it's possible to get all of my mods set up, all of the really essential mods for Edda's playthrough, so that we can perhaps continue with verse 4 in the Special Edition. But if not, I will be happy to keep playing with the original Skyrim and my current mod setup there. Oh, and one more thing that I almost forgot. So for a long time, people have been recommending various ENB presets that I might use for the series, and I haven't been using any of them because ENB does not play nicely with DxStory. But now that I'm no longer using a DxStory, ENBs have become a possibility for this playthrough. So, with that in mind, I looked at a few ENBs that I'm familiar with, that I like, and I decided on one that I'm going to try out for verse 3, which is Finnick's Natural ENB. It's a fairly subtle one that stays pretty true to Skyrim's original colors. It isn't too oversaturated or intense, so I don't think it'll be very jarring, but it definitely makes Skyrim and Solstheim a much prettier place to play in. So, to all of you who have been urging me to play with an ENB since pretty much the very beginning, you're finally getting your wish, and I hope you will enjoy the one that I chose. So, with that said, I intend to get the first few episodes of verse 3 recorded sometime this week after Halloween, and edited as quickly as I can after that. So, if all goes well, Divine's willing, the first episode of verse 3 should go up sometime next weekend. I hope you all have a happy Halloween, and I will see you back in the game.